This is a video about the Olympia Beauty Show 2015. So Olympia Beauty, for those who don't know, is this event that's on the 4th and 5th, beginning of October basically, in the UK at Olympia, which is a venue in West London, and I go every year, I think. It's free to, but it's for people in the industry, so it's mostly, this one is mostly geared towards salons, tanning, teeth, nails, rather than makeup. You have IMATS in July, I think it is, which is the big makeup event. You have United Makeup Artists Expo, which is a smaller makeup event, which I love, and then you have Olympia Beauty, which is more beauty in salon. When I first started going, they had a tiny little blogger section at the back, which was basically just me and a couple of other people. And this year they had a whole separate blogger event, which I did go to and which seemed very nice, but the fact that it was completely separate, for me, sort of showed how I feel about blogging at the moment, in that I used to love it because you would go and look at all the stands and talk to people and meet people, and then you'd go to the bloggers area and you would meet reps from all the brands that were there, so you could get details, talk to them, talk about what you wanted to do and things. And now you have to go into a completely separate part of the building, and I think sort of the reason to be there is to talk about brands, meet brands, and see the body painting competition, and obviously it depends what you blog about, but so I went in for about 5 minutes and I had a look around, and there were speakers there who seemed to be doing a really good job, but I just thought there was slight irony in the fact that there was a lecture going on about where to find inspiration and what to write about when you don't have anything to write about, and I just thought, well, go next door and look at the big event that's going on next door and write about that. But then it's really nice to have blogger events, and maybe, I suppose, it's really close and easy for me to get to. It's like 10 minutes on the bus. Whereas if you've come down for the day, I guess you want to do both bits, and it's very good for socialising, but I'm just kind of like, want to get in there, want to spend as much time as possible watching the body painting and seeing what brands there are. So I really enjoyed it this year, but I didn't do as much bloggy stuff as I usually do because it was separate. What I loved about this year was they had a big makeup stand. They had NYX there, which is a brand that I love, and I did love when it was on the high street in the UK about 10 years ago, and it's having a sort of comeback, and I still love it. And a couple of times at Olympia Beauty there haven't been as many makeup stands there. Understandable, it's not geared necessarily towards makeup artists, but I kind of think makeup is universal. One year they had Inglot there, and I love Inglot, that was great. They've had Illamasqua there, but I know that it costs so much to exhibit at these places that if you're a big makeup brand, and it's not a specific makeup show, you probably, is the cost worth it? But anyway, the queue for NYX was constantly round the block. I got there as soon as the doors opened, did my shopping early, and then couldn't basically get back into the queue because it was just so huge. And so I just had a really good time. I was there also with 2 magazine, which if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I will put a link in the description box below. It is a digital magazine, soon to be print magazine, that I help with, and it was doing its first print issue, which we did there. So we were just sort of going around talking to people about what we were doing and being in it and everything, so that was really exciting. The body painting, as always, was fantastic and inspiring. They had Nail Olympics there, so loads of nail competitions and things going on, which is kind of cool. I wanted to get my nails done, but obviously you can't if it's a competition. And generally it was a really good year this year, I think, and I had a lovely time. So if you are in the industry, it may be worth checking out because it's sort of really nice atmosphere, quite good for shopping. They have loads of stuff, like if you need towels, they have people who supply towels to salons. I renewed my makeup insurance, which I let lapse when I was pregnant. They have brush and scissor belts for if you do hair. They just have sort of everything covered. So I really recommend it. I bought some of the NYX HD eyeshadow base, which I just really like. I don't usually like eyeshadow bases a lot, but I have bought a couple of palettes recently that were expensive that turn out to need an eyeshadow base, and this one I think is really good. It's about £9, and I've been wanting to review it on the blog for ages, and I cannot find a stockist in the UK yet, and I just don't really feel like I should review it until I find a stockist. Anyway, I really love this, so I bought a spare. I also bought a spare of the Wonder Stick highlight and contour because I love it. I wear it every day. The contour colour for me is perfect. I also bought some of these, which are the, what do they call them, soft matte lip creams, which I'm wearing at the moment. Again, these are like £5 I think, and I would buy, I mean I had to go through the till and then I had to put some back because it was just getting a ridiculous amount of money that I was spending there, especially as these are not very long lasting, and I'm happy to spend money on these because the colour range is so beautiful and they look really good. I love a kind of creamy matte lip, but you are going to have to reapply this. They taste and feel exactly the same as the cream puffs from Collection, so I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out that they were the same, if you see what I mean. But the colour range is amazing. So I have got Antwerp, Buenos Aires and Cannes, which is the one I'm wearing, and I love those. I'll do a separate quick review on them. And then Crown Brush were there, and I love Crown Brush. They usually go to most places, and they just do lovely brushes, and they're incredibly reasonably priced, especially at events where you get an event discount. So I've got got a silver one and a black one of these. These are my favourite lip brushes to have in my kit. Not only are they just a really good size brush to have, but let me show you properly. They come apart and you can put the end on there if you like a long brush, or you can use it like this if you like a short brush. But the fact that you can then put the lid on means that if you put it in your set bag, you don't get lipstick everywhere, and it's safe to then take it out and reapply if you're using it on the same person. You don't have to worry that you've got makeup and other stuff on there. So I got two of those, a black one and a silver one. And then this big fly, it's just flown in obviously because this video is doomed. I got a blending crease brush. I'm just obsessed with blending brushes. And I got a round crease brush. And then I got one that is so basic that they didn't even name it. But they're just really soft, and I personally think you can't have too many blending brushes, especially if you're a makeup artist. I also got some Dr. Paw Paw, not to be confused with the original Paw Paw. This is a UK brand. Sneakily trying to jump on the bandwagon, but actually I kind of prefer this because they've put olive oil in it. So if you know what I mean by the original Paw Paw, which comes in a red tube, it's kind of quite thick and gloopy and sometimes a little bit gritty. This isn't. This has got the olive oil in it, so it gives it a bit more slip. So I'm definitely going to go next year, already looking forward to it. I just feel like they do really well. It sort of shows you, I guess IMATS is kind of, now it's self-marketing, self-promoting because it's such a big deal, but Olympia Beauty, I think they do really well. You don't have to queue to get in. They've just got enough staff there to scan your tickets. You get sent your ticket beforehand. So I just think it's a really well organised, nice event. So it's really worth making the trip for if you are that way inclined.